I took the viral fat loss injection for 30 days and the results were frightening. I lost over 9.5 kilograms. That's over 20 pounds. And honestly, I didn't even try. But that wasn't the scariest part. What happens when you stop wanting to eat, but also stop wanting to train? Does getting leaner this way aid or hinder your health? And have we just cured obesity? That's exactly what I wanted to explore. I spoke to James Smith about this about a year ago, who had done it and had to stop after 2 weeks.
When I took it, I was like, oh wow, this is going to change the world. To the point that now it sounds fucked. When I see someone morbidly obese, I'm like, let's kick that fucker in the back of a van and just jab him.
Now, I completely get where he's coming from, but I've got a bit of a different take on it. Let's get into it.
So this is me. I'm 32 this year. I've spent the majority of my life still on a diet. You've got food noise, stress, distraction, work, kids, you name it. But here's something mad. Around 1 in 3 people in the UK are obese. So around 1 in 3 people qualify for one of these. So I can't avoid the topic. And before you ask, no, I didn't qualify. So I just took this purely for a 30-day experiment. So it's estimated that around 750,000 people right now in the UK are taking this. I reckon it's probably more secretly. And quite honestly, I think that number is going to get a hell of a lot bigger. This little pen looks exactly like my whiteboard pen. Potentially could change your life. So if I, out of the 1 in 3, with all the knowledge, the experience, still struggle a little bit to stay consistent, what chance have these people got? No wonder everyone's on it. So many people on my Instagram have been talking about this and really quite invested in it, and a lot of them have actually been taking it, and a lot more considering taking it. I'll stick the poll up somewhere here so you can see. Even James Smith had to stop taking it because it worked too well after 2 weeks. He was fading away. I didn't believe him, so I tried it. I was genuinely all ready to call this out and just say, no, it's all about the wrong approach, but I was wrong. I was actually expecting pretty major side effects, which I didn't really have, minus a couple, which I go into. I wanted to film this video warning people not to take it, but I can't. It's more nuanced than that. So this is 5 pounds of fat. So technically, I lost over 4 of these in 4 weeks, which if you know anything about fat loss, I didn't. The majority of that came off in the first week to 10 days of water. It was the easiest diet I ever done from a food perspective, which to be honest, is a little bit scary. So by day 2, my appetite was completely gone. Not just like down a little bit, completely gone. I skipped meals without realising, not because I was hyper-focused with my ADHD, but genuinely because I just didn't think about food. And a caveat to this, I came off of ADHD medication, which can blunt hunger, so my appetite was skyrocketed before I came on this. And as someone with a super high appetite, for me to skip a meal without the help of medication, it's pretty tough. So I didn't crave chocolate, I didn't think about food, I wasn't hungry, I wasn't even impulsive either, to be honest. And if I'm really being true to the nuance of this, my productivity went up. So is this miracle a fat loss and productivity drug as everyone says? Not quite. That's where day 13 came in, the trade-off. Now, a lot of people are interested in this for the fat loss properties, but for the people that already go to the gym and enjoy the gym, like myself, I was going consistently and have been for years. During this, I moved less than I've moved in years. I couldn't bring myself to go to the gym. Even one day, I sat outside the gym for 30 minutes and didn't go in. Nothing to do with anxiety. Well, maybe slightly. I was anxious about going in there and feeling as weak and tired as I did the day previous. I lost a lot of muscle. You might not be able to see from the videos or the photos, because when you look leaner, you can look a little bit bigger, but I'll promise you, everything about me is smaller.
Everything about you got a little bit smaller.
Oh, not everything about me got smaller, by the way. And for me, I live in Spain. I've got no excuse not to get my steps in. How can I possibly start a diet? I've lost weight pretty fast before. Not tracking calories. I do it for a living. But I didn't even have to move. I didn't even have to try. And the weight was just falling off me. So when I've struggled for years in the UK to get out a walk in the rain, I could go out right now. If you film outside, that's what I live in. So I've got no excuse not to be more active, and I just still couldn't bring myself to do it. So from an outsider's perspective, I was getting leaner, my abs started to come in. I wasn't exactly huge to begin with, but to me, as someone who already goes to the gym, it wasn't worth the payoff. And this is the lowest dose, 2.5 milligram. So, speaking of that, this fucking thing, I hate it. I hate needles. The benefit of this is usually with medication, because of the half-life, you have to go every few days, so multiple times a week. And a lot of the time, because there's 7 days in a week, it doesn't fall into any sort of routine, so you can forget to take it, etc. Whereas this, you can get away with taking it once a week. There's people that microdose it, blah, blah, blah. But even though this is just a little tiny needle, I've struggled with it. So if you're struggling with needles like me and you're a wimp, then maybe just wait for the oral stuff to come out. But the first time that we tried this, which I think is completely mad, they give you one spare pin or needle with it. My wife is behind the camera, tried to stick it in me. That sounds weird. She tried to put the needle in me, went in just fine, but this wouldn't press. So we took it back out, but that needle's now dirty, we weren't going to use it again, but we had one spare needle. So then I was feared to use it.
So Nigel, this is tiny. Oh, sorry, I'm having a problem. It's not going in.
You just squirted at me. So right now, I believe people are getting it, like me, who shouldn't have got it, other than for experimental purposes. People are getting it just for fat loss and vanity purposes and not for a catalyst to change for the better, for their health, longevity of life. It's not a vanity drug, it shouldn't be. That is to do with the right approach. So this was originally created for diabetes, and they found the fat loss properties of it, recreated it for fat loss. It's now worth billions across the world. I even think in America and the States, it's like $1,000 a month, which is not, it's a lot more affordable in the UK, 150, 200 quid a month. But there's other parts to this that surprise me even more so, but that is for another video. Compulsions and addiction, not just about hunger. So don't think everyone should be rushing to the stores to get this. And I do think there needs to be tighter regulations in place instead of just lying on your form, which I think they've put in, but I'm sure there'll be ways to get it. But don't ask me. I'm not gonna lie, it challenged me a little bit because it's my job to help people lose fat. I thought, am I out of job? Because it works so well for hunger suppression. But it might blunt your hunger, but it doesn't build your habits. It doesn't get you to the gym. And I didn't even hit my protein. I don't think I hit my protein once during this. I set out.
I'm going to hit a high protein diet every day, a minimum 150 grams.
I'm lucky if I get 2 meals in. I would usually finish off 3 or 4 fajita wraps for dinner, easily, and have a dessert. I couldn't even finish 1 wrap one day. That's the power of this, even on this low dose for someone like me with a big appetite. So when it comes to optimization of your body, etc., this isn't it. When it comes to a last resort, give yourself that catalyst to change when you've been trying for years and you just can't shift 5 stone, 10 stone, and you're in that category where it could shorten your life. This could be a miracle drug, and I think it maybe already is. But for the majority of people, I don't think it's quite there yet. So if you're just trying to lose a few kilos, this is just going to add to the rebound. There needs to be something in place for people when they come off of it, whether it's a coach. I know there's coaches already with GLP-1 programs, and a lot of the time I do think that's a bit of a money grab because I don't think it's any different from someone coming off a normal diet. The same rules still apply with a calorie deficit, going to maintenance, minimising hunger, but there does need to be more support with it. I 100% don't think it goes to the doctors. Having a medical approach to fat loss, diet, lifestyle does not work. As we spoke about at the start, information is one thing. Doctors are going to give you information, they're not going to give you anything beyond that. So is obesity over? Not quite. Is it going in the right direction? Maybe. So is it revolutionary? Yeah, but it's not quite there yet. So if you're wanting to take this just for the fat loss properties to lose a little bit of weight, don't. Over the last 10 years, I've coached thousands of people in person, in the gym, online. And the common denominator of all of those people was that they thought they had tried everything until they tried the right approach. And it comes down to the person. So if this is the first video you've watched, join my email list. If you've been following me for a while, you've been thinking about getting coached. That's exactly who I help. All information is down below. Join the email list. 28 ways in 28 days to fix your food. And something I've not spoken about is ADHD, compulsions, addiction on this. Not got time in today's video, but when it's done, I'll link it here or down below, because this was an accident initially for diabetes, and it might be an accident for addiction, and there's already studies on this. Let us know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.